Hey there, Stephen O'Hara here with the Better Software Company. In this video, I will be showing you how to use the My Calendar settings feature on the new BPro calendar. So to get to our new BPro calendar, click on your Home menu and then click on the Calendar menu. Once you have your BPro calendar open, you'll see My Calendar settings here in the bottom left menu. Okay, we're going to click on this right now. Now, the calendar settings allow you to really configure your preferred layout. It's very similar to the column picker that you'll find on the BPro reports. The difference being that you don't need to save a specific template. Whatever settings or layout options that you save will be assigned as your default. The defaults are assigned to your user specifically, just for clarity. So making this change does not carry forward to all users within your location. Okay. Everybody, and the reason really everybody has their own preferences, right? So what can we change here? We can change the default view of the calendar. I personally prefer the week view, but I know there's others that like looking at the present day, or maybe you like looking at the entire month initially and go from there. We also have default agenda view options for our users that really like and use the agenda view regularly. Okay, so make your toggles here for that default view. Oh, sorry, there's also a 4-day view, and that's actually the preferred view for mobile devices. Works really well. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as week. Okay, next we have within the day view. So when you drill into a specific day, like if I was to click on the 7 here, that would take me into the 7th of February. And typically we're all used to seeing that day view broken up by the assets. That's what we call them here at Better Software, but I guess more lovingly known as your teams, your trucks, your locations, and what have you, right? So that, again, is pretty standard, I think, for most, but we now have an option too to lay out that day view by user. So any users that you have built into the system to which you assign your events to, they'll be listed out there so that you can visually see what events are assigned to which individuals. Okay. Even once you make defaults, don't worry about that. You can toggle between the views within the calendar very, very easily. Okay, so you don't feel like you're going to be restricted by picking one or the other. Just set it to your initial preference. Now, that just means when you come back to your calendar at any point in the future, it's going to load up all of your preferences for your preferred visual options. Okay, next is Event Hover. I'm going to leave that one on. I will show you how that works. It's actually pretty cool and really tied to when you have overlapping events in the calendar. Okay, next we can reorder the information that is displayed on the surface of the event. I really like this because working with so many different types of clients, everybody really has, different pieces of information that are relevant to them. So, typical, I think in the past we had job number as really that staple piece of information that was anchored at the top of the event. So you simply click the piece of information that you'd like to move around right here on these 3-line icons, okay? And then just click, hold, and drag it into the position that you want it displayed. Okay, so at the very top, that is the first piece of information you see, and then it cascades down. So just like you see here on the calendar settings. And very commonly, I'm finding that a lot of people really prefer to see the client name, for instance, right there at the top. Um, and really, I think that really makes sense. Maybe you want the phone number up there. Job total might have some relevance for you visually. So again, this really comes in handy when you have smaller events. Let's say you have a half an hour event in the calendar. Well, that's really a very limited amount of real estate that we have to display information on. So that's where picking your priority pieces of information can be very, very helpful visually. Okay, you can also determine what is displayed on the surface of that event period. Okay, so If there's certain pieces of data in here that are really not relevant to you at all, then go ahead and turn these off. Okay. Um, that'll also define the information when we click on the event. So we'll be able to see everything that's laid out there. So I'm going to go ahead and save my changes here. We're going to see client name, phone number, and then job total, and some others, of course, but we're going to see some immediate updates here when I hit save. There we go. So my event's all updated. I'm now seeing the customer name first and foremost. Zip code, I think, was an option in here too, I believe. Yes, it is. So for users that are interested in getting a sense of the geographics, you might want zip code up there, and address is also a big chunk of that too, right? So then we can just hit save, and there we go. Now I've got some really good visual information in front of me. Again, when you click on the event, it'll display all of the information for that particular event, so that's really handy. Oops, I accidentally hit print there. There's a handy little print button in the corner. Um, and the event hover. I'm going to show you that right now. So with that turned on, when I hover over an event that is overlapped with another, it brings that one from the back to the front. So visually, I can read that pertinent information right there on the surface. Again, very clickable as well. Even the smaller appointment on the front also reacts a little bit here when we hover over it. Okay. So that's it for the calendar settings. They're really useful, help you to really personalize your layout and save you a whole bunch of clicks actually as well, right? So if you're not having to change the layouts all the time, that makes your job easier. So that's what we like to try and provide for you. So if you have any questions about the calendar settings, please chat in, and we'll give you any guidance needed. So thank you very much for joining me, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.